Africans in diaspora, they have been excelling in many areas, professionally, economically. However, when it comes to fashion, I'm afraid it looks like they're living in the closet of the colonizers. Sorry to say that, but it appears they have not been able to find their voice and their style and bring it to the world.
Glory warrior, we rise and we lead from the motherland slain. Stories of power, remember the name. Business warrior, voices that shine, African spirit in every line. Lead, inspire, tell your story. Legacy in motion, this is our glory. Story warriors at your word.
Welcome to the Story Warrior podcast. Today we have luck. We found a gentleman, Mr. Zac Thielemeir, who is a fashion designer. And believe it or not, he specializes in African designs. And he's taking African designs to the next level, to the next stage, and doing so proudly. My name is Gideon Fumukwai, the Story Warrior. On this podcast, we curate stories, strategies, and pivotal moments that have earned success so that you can learn from these and use it in your own line of work. So Mr. Thielemeir, welcome. Good morning. I know you represent, is it Joan's box or Joanna's box?
Joanne's box.
Joanne's box. That's a deep one. Tell us a little bit, what's Joanne's box?
Yeah, so I come from a really big family in Arkansas. My dad is one of 15 kids, and one of my 14 aunts, her name was Joanne, and she never had kids of her own. All the nieces and nephews were her children, and so she was known as the yard sale queen. She would go to all the yard sales and find the most random, craziest outfits you could find, and she loved it. She thought it was so funny and so cool. And so when I started learning how to sew, the easiest thing when you're first starting out is to reuse recycled material. Mm-hmm. And when I started doing that, I want to keep with that. It's fun. So all of my garments are made 95% out of bed sheets, curtains, shower curtains, unconventional, what we would call in the business, unconventional materials. Mm-hmm. So, and I wanted to pay homage to her as using these items that she would have found at a yard sale and a garage sale, and pay homage to her. So,
and that was your mom?
That was my aunt.
Oh, your aunt. Wow, Joanne's box. And so these are like, you're metaphorically saying you're pulling these items out of her box, which gathers everything from garage sales from who knows where.
Yes.
That's incredible. Okay, that's powerful. Okay, and you're a man of fashion, and I came today, tried my best, dressed to impress with something remotely African. How am I doing?
Yes, looks great.
Okay, thank you. I'm taking it from you. I mean, coming from you, I will run with that.
Thank you.
But hey, let's get serious about this. I saw your son at the Fashion Week in Omaha. First, when he walked, everybody was stunned. Most of the models were younger adults and above. Your son came, defied the culture, defied the norm. He was young and he walked with a sprint, with a sudden confidence in him. I'm like, oh my God, who is this one? And immediately the audience broke out cheering. So my question is, what do you feed your son with? What do you give him? Or is it only the fashion that you gave him? Or is it something else?
I'm not sure. He's kind of following what he sees. He loves soccer. He plays soccer as his life. He's 8 years old and loves and enjoys soccer. He started watching me a little bit and a lot of our friends modeling, and so slowly recently he's been like, no, I want to try it. For African Fashion Week, we went down to the auditions, and he wasn't even going to audition. He was like, no, I'm too scared. I'm too scared, because we told him this is a really big show. And then when we got there, he saw some other kids doing it, and he said, before we left, he said, no, I think I'll go try. And then going throughout the audition process, there weren't any children's designers in the lineup this year. They were having a hard time finding someone. So since they knew he was my son, they asked, hey, would you be willing to make an outfit for him? Let him walk for you so he can get the experience. So yeah, and I've made him clothes previously here at home, just trying it out. And made him a little outfit, and he was super excited. So
did you notice that it was the first moment when there was a breakout of the audience, like started to feel like it was a Superman walking through, even though he was not the tallest? Did you notice that? Or you were probably still backstage?
Yeah, I heard the crowd erupts backstage, and I wasn't sure what was going on. And then, I peeked around the corner. I was like, "Oh, he's next up," because he was the youngest one in the whole show. So
yes,
that was really cool.
He definitely stood out, and for me, just watching, I was like, "Wow, this is cool." He's so confident. He's so poised. This is like a very well trained young man. Yes, he projected you, the dad, the family in the most stunning way possible. But let me take you to the side and say, you come from a background in modeling, and now you're a designer and designing mostly African fashion. Or do you design other kinds of fashion? Maybe you could comment about that.
Yeah, right now that was just happened to be my first show, because the African community has welcomed me in. So with open arms, they gave me my first shot. So I wanted that to be my first big show as well. There's another show in town that I'm a model for, Heartland International Fashion Week, and they're all about bringing the different cultures together and showcasing those. So I'm hoping to get into their show soon too as well. And since working with the African designers, I love the bright, bold, beautiful colors. I love their fashion is typically not the standard normal. The men's suits are very fitted. I love that. And I love the dresses are always not your normal, everyday prom looking dress. There's always something that they add to them to make them stand out. And I really love that. Okay.
And you mentioned you grew up in Arkansas. I was thinking Arkansas, Africa, or not the closest of places, but hey, it is based on your interest that you are going deeper and deeper into African fashion. But what was a pivotal moment when you discovered, you know what, I gotta stick in this. I'm not looking around, I'm not turning around, I'm gonna go as deep as possible in African fashion design and beyond?
Yeah, working with Miss Suzanne and Miss Kenya, they've really encouraged. They're super good mentors, and they really encouraged me. They're always in the background. I'm not surprisingly, even as a model, I'm not always one of the most confident in my work. And so they've really been there to encourage me, keep me going. No, it looks beautiful. Keep going, keep going. You got it. And so just having those already established designers in the African fashion community in my ear telling me, you got it, keep going, guiding me. I always want to make sure that I'm respecting the culture as well. And so I always have reached out to one of them and said, is this okay? Does this look right? Does this fit the culture? And I want to be the utmost respectful.
Yeah.
So I've always reached out to them, and it's been amazing to have them in my little corner teaching me, showing me and everything I need to know. So
yeah, they say in every field, if you have a good mentor, you can go as far as possible. So if you have a good mentor, or mentors in this case, who can whisper and give you advice, hey, you can go as far as possible. Hey, is your story working for you, or it's just sitting there and gathering a lot of dust? Do you know your story is a powerful, invisible asset? Your story is your superpower, provided you know how to tell it. Give me 15 minutes. I will audit your story and make it unforgettable. It will generate buzz, it will generate engagement, and above all, it will create business for you. Give me 15 minutes. I can coach you on how to tell your story in the most captivating way possible. My name is Gideon Fumukwai, the Story Warrior. I help people like you to tell fascinating stories. So please click below and sign up, and I'll be happy to work with you. Thank you so much. Now, when you look at global fashion, you will realize that a few countries are dominating. Say Italy is dominating, France is dominating, and Africa has well over 54 countries. And there aren't too many significant African fashion pieces that you can say, oh, this is from this part of the world, or from that part of the world, or from this part of Africa. Now, granted, Nigerians have some flamboyant headdresses that are globally recognized, but have they become a brand? I don't know. So my question to you is, do you think that there's a missed opportunity for some brands to break out and represent this massive continent with 1.4 million people? Billion, not million, billion.
Yeah, I think so. I think as being a white man in African wear, I think there is becoming a market for it. I've watched Miss Suzanne and Miss Kenya, their businesses both grow, and both of them are very much, they want every person to be able to wear their clothing.
Fair enough.
And I think there is slowly growing a market for it where people aren't afraid to wear. It's beautiful. Why can't I wear these beautiful bright colors? I know Miss Suzanne, I own a couple of her suits, and I get compliments every time I wear it because it's not the norm. It's something that stands out. They're bright, beautiful colors. It's not your normal everyday navy blue, black, or gray suit that you see in the fashion community typically. So it's something different, and I think that there are markets there. People are always, especially in the fashion community, looking for something different. You want to stand out. And the African designs are exceptional, and you will definitely stand out in it.
That's really a good basis for the next question, which was meant to be, do most of the designers you meet, are they trying to design, especially for Africans, to fit in, or are they designing to stand out in the context of living in a predominantly Western country like here? Those that you are interacting with, are they designed to fit in so that they kind of like they don't stand out too much, or are they really bold and putting themselves out there?
I think there's a little bit of both. I think as a designer, you want your pieces to stand out because you want to get the recognition, you want to get your brand out there, you want to get that notoriety, but then you also have to think about wearable pieces. Not everything can be just for the runway. If you want your brand to be sustainable, you have to have things that people can wear every day too. So I think there's a little bit of mixture of both. There's the runway side, and then there is also the everyday where I'm going to have to sell these garments to make money.
And as far as your designs go, can you share with us, I think you mentioned that you're trying to put in different pieces. What makes your designs different from the next designer who could be African or could be non-African, but interested in African fashion like you? What makes your style stand out?
My designs stand out because they're all going to be 100% one of a kind. Like, because I'm using the recycled materials, unless you are able to randomly find that same curtain or bed sheet somewhere, then almost everything I make is one of a kind, because as I haven't ran into any of my materials yet that I found that blanket or that curtain somewhere else. So
Wow. And when you source, some designers say they go source from Ghana, from Cotonou, from China. It would appear you source in a very different place. Maybe you go to where Auntie Joanne would go. Talk to us about the flea market or what?
Yeah, 100%. I go to the Goodwill thrift store, Salvation Army, all of the local thrift stores. I go to all of those. There's a couple places we have here in Kansas City that are like scraps places where they sell leftover fabric. They sell it's leftovers from someone's craft project. So, and I usually try to hit up those places. And so.
Wow. And you working off of the leftovers, is that more challenging?
Yes.
Or that gives you just more delight, like this is who I am, I could care less when it takes 3 times more to get it done. I'm gonna do it because that's who Zac is.
It's both. It's challenging. It's both, yeah,
Okay.
because that's the material you got. There is no more. I can't run out to the store and buy more
Get
fabric. This is it. This is
So-
what I have.
It is definitely very challenging, I would say.
Yes, very so.
But at the same time, if you finish it, it's very unique because by its very constitution, by its very makeup, it doesn't exist anywhere else. That is interesting. Never thought about it that way. All right. So, what would you say was your breakout moment? Was your pivotal moment when you felt this is it? I'm gonna go places.
So when I started out, I was just making clothes for myself and my wife. And I had made a couple outfits. We had worn them to the shows, after the shows, for the red carpet and everything. And I started getting compliments, people asking me, oh my gosh, that's beautiful, that's crazy, that's amazing, where did you get that? And telling them that, oh, this is me, I made it. And just receiving those few compliments was like, okay, I can keep trying, I can keep practicing. And there was I think 2 seasons ago in Kansas City Fashion Week, I made my wife this dress out of a velvet tablecloth. And everyone was in all night long. Everyone kept asking her, oh my gosh, where did you get that? That is amazing, it's beautiful. And then when they found out that I had made it out of a tablecloth, they were even more amazed, and they all wanted pictures of it. And so I knew then, okay, I can do this. I got it. I just need to keep going in the same direction I'm going.
So it was thanks to a fine piece of tablecloth that you transformed into an elegant dress for your wife, and you got so many compliments. You're like, okay, I got this. I'm gonna take this as far as possible. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Can you describe that dress a little bit? Can you describe what kind of tablecloth, what kind of,
Yeah, it was just it had like a paisley flower print on it that you could kind of see faintly because it was all the same color. And it was just a crushed velvet tablecloth that we found at the thrift store.
Yeah. Was that enough, or did you have to add some other extra material? And if so, what else did you have to add to it?
No, it was enough to make the dress. I did add some like tulle at the bottom to make it kind of a mermaid style, so it would puff out at the bottom. But yeah, I had enough there to make the whole dress. So
okay, very interesting. So it's very clear that you involve your family very much. On one hand, your son was ruining it on the runway for other models. He came, and then finally there was an eruption. And on the other hand, you're making something with good old tablecloth, and your wife goes in and the whole world likes it. So you're clearly doing something that other designers would be in envy of. My question to you is it because you have found this way of telling stories with tiny pieces of scrap that you're standing out? Is it because you're telling stories with unique designs. Or what is it about your designs that you can say that is fascinating people and getting people to say, wow, leaning in and asking questions and complimenting? What is it? The stories? Because I guess that maybe some of those items are telling some stories about your existence, about your identity, about your affiliation to Africa, about something. There's something there. Maybe the story, I don't know. What is it?
Yeah, I think just the fact that it's all recycled pieces, I think that's a story in itself of that used to be on someone's kitchen table and now it's a dress, or those used to be curtains that were hanging in their home for 35 years. They donated them and now I turn them into something new, refreshed. I turn them into a dress, a coat, something. So I think that's the story in itself.
Wow. You're onto something. Now, Zac, have you used your own personal story as a non-African and who is in love with African fashion in, getting the world to admire your view from outside, not necessarily from inside? Because sometimes when you look from outside, you see things that those from inside don't see. So have you used that story, that narrative in, putting your work in places that would otherwise not be?
Yeah, I think my first big show was African Fashion Week, and I think that was kind of a story in itself leading up to the show. There were words around the fashion community of, why is he in the show? He's not African. What are you doing? So leading up to the show was kind of like, no, I want to do this to prove I can do it and to prove that I don't have to be African. I can still very much respect the culture.
Yeah.
I can respect the culture. I can respect the community. The world needs some more love right now, and I want to be a part of that. I'm very accepting. I didn't grow up with that. I came from a small town in Arkansas where there was little to no diversity. So when I moved out and moved to the bigger cities, it was a culture shock for me not coming from there. And then so as I got older, explored more places, I wanted to expand my horizons. I want to learn those cultures. I want to see those things because I never saw it growing up. So
I mean, there's no law anywhere that someone should only sit tight one corner of the world. They should explore the world. So where do you see Joanne's box in the next 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years? Which corner of the world would you continue to evolve and take your work there? Because obviously, first of all, talk about how did you feel coming out of Omaha, notwithstanding the noises or some of the the things that people were saying. Notwithstanding that, how did you feel coming out of that, and where do you see yourself in 3, 4, 5 years?
Yeah, coming out of Omaha, I'm still in shock and awe. I'm still getting messages of congratulations. These are beautiful. My work is still being reshared all over our fashion social media pages, and so I'm still in shock and awe that, hey, I did it. The first one's under the belt. I'm looking forward to more. I really love the runway. I love the excitement of it. I know that doesn't necessarily pay in the business because those pieces aren't always wearable. But I really do love the excitement, the thrill of the runway. And so I would like to do some more runway shows. And of course, every designer wants to sell their garments. So I would love to sell some pieces and just keep moving forward, keep learning. And I'm a huge fan, as most designers probably are, of Project Runway. And their tagline on the show is one day you're in and the next day you're out. And in fashion, it is so true, because I can make this dress today and the next person is going to come along and make that same dress or similar and add something else to it, and my dress is now forgotten. So
okay, but you can't go wrong. You're going with your wife, you're going with your son. I mean, how many other designers have the best of both worlds. I mean, it's very clear that because you're integrating with your family, you're having fun along the way, you're gonna have some memories. Because I don't remember the last time I saw a designer come up with a son. It wasn't evident to me until when you walk at the back, at the very end, you held hands, you're walking along. That's it. That's when I got it. So I knew that if he wasn't your son, you would not be holding hands at the very end with him, whereas all your models were in front of you. Here's my quick question to you. If somebody wants to patronize your work, wants to discover Joanne's box, where should they go and how can they find that?
Yeah, I have a website I'm still working on. I'm still learning the website thing. So it's joannesbox.com. And then my Instagram page, we update that constantly. That seems to be the most traffic where people go to find something. And it's joannes.box on Instagram.
Joannes.box on Instagram. Any other handles? Are you on any other social media that you would like to share other than your website and Instagram?
Yeah, my modeling page is linked. Everything should be linked on my Instagram page under Joanne's Box. There should be a link to my modeling page as well, which I try to keep updated frequently as well.
We are grateful to you, Mr. Thielemeir. I hope I pronounced your name right. For your work, for your contributions to a growing fashion coming from the motherland. We don't know how far it's going to go, but we have to acknowledge all the actors and all the contributors because it's evolving and we need all hands on deck. Because I can only imagine a day when it will be normal for someone to wear a different kind of suit into a meeting and not feel like the elephant in the room. If that day comes, I think everybody will be happy professionally and sartorially speaking. Here on the Story Warrior podcast, we are grateful to all our guests. We want to appreciate you with a little vuvuzela blast off, which is, okay, you get a point, which is in appreciation because we believe that your story is your superpower. Your fashion design, if it tells a story, is your superpower because it encourages people, it nudges people. So if you like this information about Joanne's Box, please subscribe, share, and more importantly, go and look up joannesbox.com and patronize that business because fashion needs good people who want to look good doing what they do best. Thank you so much.